Hello, everybody. It is almost 4 o'clock, or actually it looks like it's 4 o'clock on the dot. Let me make sure I can get my screen up and running, and then I'll welcome you to our new fun endeavor that I've got going with my Betty and my good friend Tammy. Let me see, I can't find myself on my Facebook page. Nope, that's not me, that's somebody else that's live. Let's see, give me just a minute. It shows me as being live. I'm scrolling down, and let me refresh my page. Sorry, talking through every little step here. Sorry about that. So, oh, there I am. So now I can see comments. Oh, hello, Tammy. Hello, Shannon. Hey, Joan, how are you? Oh, Washington State. How exciting. Hey, Joan, how are you? Oh, Washington State. Oh, let me turn off I gotta mute my computer, otherwise I was gonna get feedback. Joan, where from Washington are you? I have family that, well, my grandfather's side of the family hailed from Washington, up in the Bellingham area, and I've got my mom's cousins that live up in that area, and I think out by Spokane, but I'm not sure. So anyway, welcome to Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jenny. This is a fun endeavor, an adventure that Tammy and I are doing. Let me try and fix my screen because it looked a little crooked. Oh, there it is. Now it's straight. But Tammy and I are going to be going on this adventure where every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Pacific time and every Tuesday afternoon, let me see this one again. Every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, Tammy with Cards by TLC will be going live on her Facebook page. And then every Tuesday, 4 o'clock Pacific time, I will be going live here on my Facebook page, Stampin' with Jen. And we're going to be sort of doing a series, but it's an ongoing series. And we're looking forward to doing this. We had a lot of fun planning this, and this week we are going to be doing color combos, and given that it is the 4th of July this week, we figured red, white, and blue would be the perfect color combination to do. So we're going to go ahead and do that. She did a beautiful card with Country Flowers stamp set today, and I am doing one that actually is using a punch. And we're going to piece together a card using the Hexagon or Heartfelt Hexagon punch and red and white and blue colors. And I'm looking forward to showing you what we're going to do. So let me go ahead and we'll go ahead and get started. Sumner by Tacoma. Oh, hey, Patty. Welcome. So up by Tacoma, actually, now I think about it, my husband's best friend from growing up lives, I think, in Everett, which is not far from Tacoma. So we have some connections up there to Washington. All right, this is the card we're going to be making today, and I'm excited to show you. It's inspired by a card that a fellow demonstrator, Kirsten, and Patty did at I think it was the holiday soiree we did last October, and we used the Hexagon punch with some different DSP or pattern paper from Stampin' Up. And this time I decided to put it to use with some of our cardstock, clothes are on the mind, Night of Navy and Poppy Parade. So let me go ahead and show you where we're going to get started, and we'll go over measurements. And the measurements will be on my blog tomorrow, so you can go there and check that out if you don't get it written down. But we're going to start with our card base, which is, yeah, thanks. And I don't even shop at Old Navy really often much, but my daughter does occasionally, so I guess that's why it was on my mind. But this is a 5.5 by 8.5, 8.5 wide, 5.5 tall, and it's scored at 4 1/4 in the middle. And then we fold it over, and we'll go ahead and burnish it to get a good fold and crease on that. And we're going to set it aside. All right, the next paper that we're going to do is we're going to take the same balmy blue, but we're going to cut it into a piece that is 5 3/8 high by 4 1/8 wide. And basically what's going to happen is it will sit and be centered on our card base with a very, very light trim of the exact same color. But the reason I did this is because when I place my pieces of Hexagon punched paper, I'm going to glue it on there and it's going to stick out around the edge, and then that way I can go ahead and cut it off without ruining the actual card itself. Oh, Joan, I'm so envious. Sunny day at 75 degrees. Last I checked, I was at 105. I'm just grateful that we have an air conditioner for our house. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started, and we'll show you. This is the Hexagon punch, and I think I usually punch about 4 or 5 pieces out of each one. I'm going to have 4 Night of Navy, and I have 3 Poppy Parade. I'm going to punch out 1 more Poppy Parade. Let me get my Poppy Parade scrap. This is a great way to use up some of your scraps too. If you have, like, this is a scrap that I had, or I scored it and I used it for something else, or maybe I scored it and cut it and it didn't fit what I needed. So I just threw it in my scrap pile, and I use this now to get my scraps and punch out another one. Matter of fact, my Night of Navy, that was scraps from a card fun fold that I tried a long time ago that just didn't work out, and it was scored at an angle and looked really funny. It was a fun fold that didn't work, but I thought, I'm not throwing this away. I can somehow use it at some point in time, and I stored it with my scraps, and there you go. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to get out our glue, and we're going to, I'm going to, I think, center, you know what, I'm going to center my red one right here, and then we're going to build off of that. So let's go ahead and glue our Hexagon punch, and it's the Heartfelt Hexagon punch that I'm using, and we're going to sort of center it right there. Now this one, actually, ironically, we're not going to see it because we're going to use a large Nested Essentials die in white to stamp on, and then go from there. So let's see, we're going to go ahead and glue some of this on, and I'm going to look at this, and actually this is the perfect time. I forgot my silicone mat. I'm going to use my silicone mat because if some of the glue oozes off of this card or this layer, I don't want it sticking to my my paper, graph paper, because then it would stick and cause a problem. But this way, the nice thing is the silicone mat, if I get any adhesive on it, I let it dry and it comes right off afterwards. So let's go ahead and glue these 2 on. And you may wonder, wow, she doesn't have a lot of punches. I may need some more of my reds, but the funny thing is they get cut off. And so I just use them to piece in other places. So now we're going to go ahead and put our blue one. I'm going to put my blue one here and my blue one here. And let's go ahead and go. I think this whole thing will fit on here. So we're going to go ahead and put this one on. And we're going to do some spacing. You see, we have some little blue down here that what we're going to do is we're going to use some red of the punched red ones to fill in those spaces. So, you know what, I'm going to put this one up here. No, we'll put it down here. We want to try and keep as much of the space the same amongst all of these. And so let's turn this card, and I've got 2 more. I'm going to put the blues on, because I'm going to alternate them. All right, put that there. So, yeah, it's fun. Hi, Shannon. Oh, you're welcome. I learned the silicone. I'm trying to figure out, I think it was Patty I got the silicone mat trick from, but Patty's full of all sorts of wonderful tips. So, all right, let's go ahead and put that there. And now, let's see. The nice thing about using Tom glue, the Tombow glue, is that, although this, boy, that, it must be the heat. It adhered a lot quicker than it normally does. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to cut off these edges, and we're going to use, if we can, if not, I'll punch some more out to fill in those empty spots on the blue, the baby blue, not baby blue, balmy blue. I just saw somebody doing a card on babies, and so, and then I saw the blue, that baby blue instead of balmy blue. So we're going to use this. There we go. These are great sticker or scissors. They're non-stick titanium stickers that I learned from Patty about, and I love them. I use them instead of my paper snips because they can get all gooey and the adhesive comes off of them very clearly or very easily, and then you don't ruin your snips. So, oh, thank you, Tammy. All right, let's go ahead and see where we can fit. We're going to have to probably do a couple more punches. We're going to put a little glue here. We're going to fill in these spaces, and then if I have to punch another hexagon or two out, I can do that. But we're going to see. We're going to put this one right here. And up at the edges here, instead of putting the glue on the actual hexagon punch, I'm going to just put it on the cardstock layer that I'm using. I'm going to put that there. We'll go right here a little bit. All right. Oop. We'll let this dry. Yeah, you know what, Shannon? I love these shapes. These are fun shapes to play with. So we're gonna let this dry real quick. Wave it around a little bit. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and punch while we're letting those dry. I'm gonna punch a couple more hexagons out. And what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one. This is another thing you can do. If you know you're only gonna be doing the bottom, you can cut one out, punch one hexagon out, and then you can cut it in half and cut the other piece in half, and we'll see if it works, because then you can piece them together like this. Yep, that will work. So let's go ahead and adhere some more. And there, I love the spacing. I love having the spacing in it. This was actually one of my fun cards that I picked up on and learned from Kirsten and from Patty back in last October. And I did the same card in one of my card classes because I love this piecing together of all the hexagons. It's really a fun looking card. So let's go ahead and cut this off now. We'll trim it right to the edge. And it's glued. It hasn't dried 100%, so hopefully it doesn't move around too much. So it's it's sort of a quick and easy card. And it's just a little bit of, I don't know if you call it simple stamping, but it definitely isn't really difficult either. So it's a fun one. This would be fun, actually, I think, to do something like this in pastels, in like our seafoam green or soft seafoam and petal pink and lemon lolly at Easter time. Just had that thought. That's a good idea. I'm gonna have to make a note for that for my for Easter cards next year for craft fairs. So there's the card front that's going to go on our card base. And I'm going to throw these aside. What color is my card base? It is balmy blue, Shannon. Get rid of some of these little scraps. All right. And we're going to go ahead and stamp and I wanted to do something fancy, so I went ahead and I'm going to show you how we got this two-tone on a single stamp. We're going to use sponge daubers. And a little tip is I have a label maker, and I type in the color and I wrap it around the base so I know what color I'm using or what color is on that. You're welcome. On that stamp or that dauber, so that I don't use it in the wrong ink color. So here's what I'm going to do. A Poppy Parade, and I always go with the lighter color first. So I'm going to go Poppy Parade first, then the Old Navy. Not Old Navy. There I go again. Old Navy. I guess maybe I should be going clothes shopping. What do you think? I keep thinking Old Navy. All right. We're going to do Poppy Parade on the top, and we're just going to dab it on. And I don't do it lightly because I want to see it as if I had actually inked the stamp on the actual ink itself. So I want it to be rather dark. You can see it now a little bit more. And I'm going to go about halfway down that middle word, which would put me at about half of the stamp. And then I'm going to switch to my Night of Navy. Treat myself. Problem is that Old Navy really isn't my style of clothes, so I'm going to have to go somewhere else. All right, so Night of Navy, and we're going to stamp this on. I think I'm going to have to re-ink my Night of Navy. It's been used so much. I need to add more. And then I'm going to stamp on top of, sort of overlap on that center word, happy, with it. So the word happy will be in Poppy Parade and Night of Navy. Caught myself. I almost said Old Navy again. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And because it's been sitting there, it's been a hot day today, I'm going to huff on my ink here to moisten it up again, and then we're going to get it in the center of our I see this cut dice shape, and I don't know what it would be called, but I think of it like a coffin. It's sort of a coffin shape, which, you know, works fine at Halloween time, but, you know, not really during the summer or winter time or whatever. So I'm going to use the big, it's like a diamond, but the edges have been cut, the points have been cut off. So anyway, we're going to huff on these, and then we're going to stamp in the center. Oh, good. I'm not the only one who calls it a coffin. Okay, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to give that multicolor where it's sort of, it's not really an ombre because it's not the same color, but it's a mixture of the red and the blue in the middle, but the red on the top and red in the middle, or in the bottom. And then we're going to go ahead and use adhesive, foam adhesive sheets. I have a big one here, and I'm going to actually cut it, and we're going to put it, let's see, at the top and in the bottom right there. All right, so let's go ahead and take this off, and we'll see if we can get that centered without putting my head in the camera. Perfect. All right, so there's our saying, oh, happy day. Great idea. What's the great idea, Patty? Because everything I learned from you guys. So now let's go ahead and we're going to attach this to our card here. Then we're going to be embellishing it, and we're going to actually do the inside. I was trying to figure out how you could do the inside. The two-tone ink. Oh, well, thank you. I was trying to figure out how we could embellish this a little bit, or how we could zhuzh up the inside is like what I like to say, because I like to make the inside look as nice as the outside does. And I was trying to figure out, since I didn't use any designer series paper and I didn't use any like imagery stamps, all I'm using is a sentiment stamp, and I don't want to put the rhinestones on the inside. And I realized, you know what would look really nice is actually using some designer series paper. I'm going to use from the either the neutrals or the brights, I'm going to use one of the colors, either Poppy Parade or Night of Navy. Is there a small die or stamp that could go around the greeting? You know what? I never thought about that, but you know what we could do? We could actually, you could take these two, the largest one that I used for this die, and then you could also put this one in the center of whatever color you wanted to use and sort of create a frame that you could put around the outside. That would look really nice. A small dart. Oh, I don't know. You know, they might have one, Patty, but I don't know of a star die. I don't know. I'd have to look at that up. That might be a good idea to look to. But I do like the idea of a frame is a good idea too. But we're gonna zhuzh this up by. Do I have that on there? I do have that on there. Yes, we're gonna use the. Shannon says Poppy Parade. What do you guys think? Poppy Parade or Night of Navy? And then we're gonna put our inside, and then we're gonna after. Layering them would be good. Yes, I like the idea of layering them. I'm going to have to try that out. So what do you guys think? Poppy Parade or Night of Navy for my inside? Let me show you what it would look like. We'd put the Poppy Parade with the white on top. I like how that pops. Or we could do Night of Navy, and having the two blues against each other look really nice too. Especially since some of these stripes almost look like they could be sort of along the line of balmy blue. Navy, navy. All right, it looks like so far I've got two navies and one Poppy Parade. So let's go ahead and we have a new color. We have to let Stampin' Up! We have a new color name for their colors, Patty. It's Old Navy. Although there's probably a copyright on that one, so we probably couldn't use it. So we'll go ahead and do, if you can look, I'm using a piece because I tried doing the daubing around the edge. I didn't like the way it turned out, so I made it a little bit smaller. And we're gonna go, let's see. All right, Shannon, I like your idea. I'm also a blues person. You know what? I didn't do the inside of my other card that I showed you the completed version of, so I'll probably do the Poppy Parade. I'll do the Poppy Parade in that one. But we'll put that on the inside here. And it's funny, direction can mean everything on this, ladies and gentlemen, because when I was first trying out DSPs, on the inside of this card, I had the stripes going this way, and it just didn't look right. And I was trying everything. I tried the circles, I tried the backside, and I knew the flower leaves wouldn't look right. And I tried looking at the backside of what's on the circles, which is that weird, not weird, but it's an odd shape of, it's like a design, a pattern of blues or the main color in white, and that didn't look right either. And then I got this idea of turning the stripes so they went vertical instead of horizontal, made all the difference in the world. All right, so what do we do at the end? We're going to bling this up a little bit, add a little sparkle or spot, for the 4th of July, a little sparkle or pop to it by adding some of our rhinestone basic jewels. And these you just sort of, wherever your little heart desires or wherever your big heart desires, we're just going to put some small ones and some big ones. I think the last one I did like 7 or 8 of them on there. So we're just going to just toss these to the wind and see where they end up. I love these. When they retired the last rhinestones, I was so bummed. I thought, oh my goodness. And then I bought these and I thought I'll try them out, and I just love these. So let's do one more big one right there. So there we go. And now it looks like I'm missing something. We're going to put one right here because that poor little guy was missing one. All right, so there is our Oh Happy Day Patriotic card. And it's made with our Hexagon punch and our dies and the Kindest Expressions stamp set. So I hope you enjoyed. Again, oh, thank you, Tammy. Thanks, Shannon. I'm glad you guys like it. I was so excited when I woke up in the middle of the night one night, and I went, oh, what am I going to do? And I had this vision of the hexagons, and I thought, I've got to use that. So I was so excited to create this one. But anyway, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Shannon, and thank you so much for everybody joining us again. I'm excited to do this Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jenny. And we will have, Tammy and I both have a playlist on our YouTube channels that will have both the videos. So you can go to either one and you can catch up if you didn't see Tammy's live this morning with her beautiful card. You can watch it. And, oh, hi, Joanne. Thank you for joining us. Or you can watch mine. Both of our blogs, her blog is Cards by TLC, and cardsbytlc.com, and mine is stampingwithjen.com. Stampin' and Jen have two N's, and we will have the dimensions for each of our cards on our blog. So Tammy's blog will have the dimensions for her card, and my blog will have the dimensions for my card, but we will be linked on our blogs to each other, so you can jump between the two and you can sort of hop, sort of like a blog hop. So anyway, I look forward to creating more with you guys on Teach It with Tuesdays. And I guess, yeah, I was looking at, and Tammy and I are doing fun folds next week, so we hope you join us again. Otherwise, have a great week, and stay cool if you're in the Bay Area, and stay safe, and have a wonderful and a happy 4th of July, everybody. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.